So, good morning. I'm excited to chat with you about what I believe is one of the key secrets to success. And not only does it work in the fitness industry, but it works in every area of your life. And what it is controlling your thought process. So, I'm going to draw a little bit and talk some because I like to teach by drawing. And what it is you are who you think you are, and no more or less than that. So just to kind of give you an example how your brain works. This is your brain. I always want to say this is your brain on drugs, like the commercial when we were kids. But this is your brain. Inside of your brain is about 3 pounds of brain. And what you do is you take input, you process that input. The processing method never changes. And then you have output. Output is your life. So if you say, hey, whether it's health, wealth, no matter what area, great family, that's the output. It's based on the input that you put in. So if we want to change our output, so let's say we said we want to lose weight or really lose fat, then the way we change that is by changing the input that we put in our life. So in science they call it, or in like computer stuff, they call it GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So if we put greatness in, we'll get greatness out. So how does your brain work though? How does this processing mechanism work? It works in pictures. So when I say to you dog, you don't see the letters D-O-G, you see a furry animal. If I say cat, similarly, you see Fluffy or whatever you call your cat. So your brain actually works in pictures, and your brain has two parts as far as not the physical matter, but more of like the psychological side of you. You have what's called your conscious brain and your subconscious brain, and the conscious part deals with maybe 10%, if that, of the activity that goes on every day. Most of the activities we do are committed to the subconscious brain. Think about it. If you have to remember how to blink, your eyes may dry out because I couldn't remember where I put my keys, But we even drive subconsciously. If you're anything like me, there's times where maybe you're tired or just active in your brain and you think about other stuff and you didn't even remember if you stopped at a red light or not. But you didn't get any tickets or any car accidents, but now you're in your driveway. So you do a lot of things subconsciously, and that's how your brain works. Well, the way to program your brain for success is by what you put in via pictures. And you put those pictures in through the words in which you speak. So you use your words to frame the way you think. So how all this relate to fitness or to health and wellness is you have to, in order to have success, create a picture of you that is healthy. So if you ever listen to yourself on an answer machine, most people don't like the way they sound on an answer machine. It doesn't sound like the way they sound to themselves. So I'm going to have to edit this video, and when I listen to myself, it's going to be like, because it's not going to be the voice that I'm used to hearing. But why do you sound different to yourself than you do on an answer machine? The reason why is because how your ears work. This is somebody with bigger ears than mine. And what happens is when you talk, the voice, when you're speaking, it goes from your larynx to your inner ear to your brain. And that's how you program yourself. That's how you hear yourself. It's inner ear to your brain. When you listen to yourself on your answer machine, it goes from the outer ear, so it goes from out here to the outer ear to the inner ear to the brain. And there's a difference in sound from your outer ear to your inner ear. Basically, when you talk to yourself, you hear yourself differently than when someone else speaks to you. And what you say to yourself or what you repeat about yourself is the most important thing. Someone else can call you all kinds of names. That does not change your view of you until you start calling yourself those names. So what we have to do is never crack jokes that are inconsistent with what we desire consciously. Give you an example. Let's say consciously I say, hey, I want to be, let's say, a 10% body fat. Or for a female, you may say, hey, I want to be a 20% body fat. Meaning, I want to be nice and lean, I want to be strong, I want to look sexy naked, just whatever your goals are. That's what you want consciously. But if you say things to yourself, like, even if it's just a joke, I got this muffin top, then in your brain, your subconscious mind, what you do is you create images of a muffin top. Now remember, the subconscious runs 90% of the activity. So you'll start doing activity to produce this muffin top, even though consciously you want to be lean, strong, and sexy. So the key is creating statements that you say to yourself consistently that are in sync with what you want consciously. And eventually that image will be a fixed image in your subconscious mind. And there's nothing you can do to not accomplish that goal. So I've had people tell me, Evans, but you don't understand, you're different. I'm not a fitness person. I just want to lose some weight. And I go, I'm not different. We're all created kind of the same. So we all have that ability to change that image. I used to eat a pizza every day. I never thought I'd be a fitness person until I started changing what I said about myself. So you can say things about yourself like, I make healthy choices consistently. My health is really important to me. I have a hot and sexy body. Whatever your fitness goals are, what I'm going to recommend you do is make a list of 10 things and write it out. Take time with that list, but write 10 things about yourself that you want. So make a list of these 10 things. And the key is there are things that are not you presently have, but you do want them to be in the present. So I'll give you an example. For me, one of my goals is to be 6% body fat with our ultrasound machine. Right? So currently I'm about 12-13% with that ultrasound machine, and that's one of my goals. So that I would say I am 6% body fat, instead of saying I want to be 6% body fat. Again, if I want to be 6%, my brain creates this image of not being there because I want to, but I don't have to say I want to be black. It's kind of obvious, I am. So I say I am 6% body fat, and I drink a lot of water, and I like the way water tastes, and water is consistent with my goals. I may say, hey, I want to be strong, or I want to be I want to bench a certain amount of weight, or I want to run a 5K or a 10K without this. Instead of saying I want to, I say I am able to. So it's a very important thing. And even if you have emotional things, like for me, I want to set an example for my generation, for my family, and for the people that I know, of what is health and what is fitness, and in a way that is sustainable as a lifestyle way. Meaning I can enjoy pizza anytime I want to eat a pizza. I choose not to eat pizza more than maybe 3 or 4 times a year. I can eat fast food anytime I want to eat fast food. I just choose not to because it's not really who I am. As I consistently make those kind of confessions, then eventually those confessions become my reality. So hopefully that makes some sense. Hopefully it adds a lot of value to you. Key points as we wrap up again. Remember, your subconscious mind works in pictures. No jokes about yourself negatively, because your subconscious brain can't take a joke. So if you say, oh, I was just joking, it's kind of like when we were kids, someone cracks a joke, like let's say I'm dark when I was a kid. We had all these mama jokes growing up. And even though we were all joking, many times it ended in a fight. So your subconscious mind cannot take a joke, so don't speak bad about yourself. And then make a list of confessions. So you have the list of things that you're saying consistently, or if you want to call it affirmations, you can call it affirmations, but a list of things that you say about yourself consistently. And the key is that there are things that you want that you don't currently have. If they can produce emotional response, then you have a higher chance of success as well, because it's easier to permeate the subconscious mind if there's emotions tied to it. So it has to have some meaning besides I am healthy. If that doesn't mean anything to you, don't let that be your goal. But if you say, hey, I'm fit and I'm strong and I can play with my kids and I'm not out of breath, and I can set an example for my family, I am, all diseases, chronic diseases end with me. Those are kind of things that if you have chronic disease or you struggle with breathing, there are things that can produce that emotional response, and it's easier to do it. Now, last thing is a bonus. If you want to take it to the next level, say those confessions while looking in the mirror. It's not going to be easy at first, but it's definitely something that you can do, and you'll be worth it. So hopefully that adds some value. Excited to see you have major success along this journey, and look forward to seeing you soon.